Orange, Tanisha.
Yes, Lincoln?
Is this the place where the boys died at the orphanage and it burned down?
Yes. It is.
Tell me again what happened.
Years ago, in a small town, somewhere in the United States, a married couple and their young daughter moved into an old house. One night, the daughter was awakened by a strange smell in her bedroom. At first, she wasn't sure if she was still dreaming. She could hardly breathe and the air was thick with smoke. As she blinked her eyes and looked around, she found that her bedroom looked different. The wallpaper was old and peeling off the walls. The carpet was threadbare and worn away in places. The furniture in her room seemed to be old-fashioned and there were cobwebs and mold all over everything. Frightened, of course, she jumped out of bed and tried to make her way down the hall to her parents' room. Minutes later, the family who lived next door heard screams outside their house and a rapping on their front door. When they opened the door, they found the little girl standing there. She was crying and babbling incoherently, and kept pointing to her own house. When they looked across the garden wall, they saw that her house was on fire. They immediately called the fire brigade, who arrived minutes later and put out the fire. Sadly, most of the house was burned beyond repair and in the rubble, they found the charred bodies of the little girl's parents. It appeared that they had been burned alive while they lay in bed. When police questioned the little girl, she told them a shocking and unbelievable story.
What was the story?
When she had woken up during the night, she went to her parents' room and opened the door. She had been confronted by a horrifying scene. Her parents lay dead in bed and there were two young boys standing over them. One of the boys was holding some bloody scissors in his hand. The girl said she began screaming and fled to the neighbor's house. The police did not believe her story at first and assumed she must have been having nightmares. Nobody could ever convince the little girl that what she had seen was just a dream.
Is this real? Was it just a dream?
No, it wasn't.
How do you know?
Because when the police researched the history of the house, they found that it had originally been a reform school for young boys. The boys were treated horribly by the people who ran the reform school and it had eventually been closed down and converted into a regular old house.
Wow, that's some story.
Should we start walking home?
Yeah, sure.